very good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on Newsroom series. I'm Dominic Iwiwu. Today we will be focusing on the North Central Zone. But before we get into that, let's take a look at national headlines. Five people have been killed following a building collapse at Aruwa Jobe Estate in the Maryland area of Lagos State. The Permanent Secretary, Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, Dr. Olufemi Oke-Osin Tolu, who confirmed this in a statement, said the incident happened at number 13 Wilson Mba Street, Aruwa Jobe Estate, Maryland, and those who died were site workers. According to the statement, the agency received a distress call regarding the collapsed building at the above address at about 3:49 a.m. This prompted the immediate activation of its response team to the scene at 3:58 a.m. and it was discovered that a set of 3 terraces under construction had collapsed. He adds that the 3 males who were recovered dead at the building were site workers.
Initial response efforts, we achieved recovery of 5 male adults alive, and of course 3 corpses, 3 victims that were dead, and of course one of them was taken one of the victims that was dead was taken to the mortuary. However, 7 was on ground to pick the remaining 2, and as a result of the ongoing operations, we discovered that the fatality was increasing gradually. So far so good. We've been able to recover the 5 victims dead and 5 victims alive. Out of the 5 victims that were alive, of course, 3 of them were taken to Bagada General Hospital, and 2 of them were taken to trauma center.
The National Youth Council of Niger, NYCN, has directed its members across the country, comprising 104 affiliated youth organizations, to be on standby and await further directives regarding the proposed nationwide protest against hardship and bad governance. The directive is contained in a communique signed by the National Youth Council President, Mr. Sokubo Sarah Igbe Sokubo, after an emergency meeting of the National Executive Committee and 36 states chairmen on Wednesday, the 24th of July, which lasted into the early hours of Thursday, July the 25th. The communique acknowledges the hardship faced by many citizens and calls for a collective support to address them. Ahead of the planned nationwide protest over hardship in the country, the military is warning organizers of the protest against any form of violence. Addressing a news conference in Abuja while providing details of the activities of troops in the fight against insurgency, the Director, Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, says although citizens have a right to protest, the military will not condone any form of violent gathering. General Buba explains that those who are planning to replicate the violent protest in Kenya are misguided elements who think war is a movie.
The level of violence being envisaged can only be described as a state of anarchy. The armed forces on its part will not stand by and allow anarchy to befall our nation. This is because we have seen wars and have witnessed anarchy in countries in which we have operated, particularly during the times of ECOMOG or during our peacekeeping operations in various countries. I believe that some people out there may fantasize about war or state of anarchy, thinking that it is like what you see in the movies. I assure you that war or a state of anarchy is not what you see in the movies. It involves real people, real situations, and real life.
As governors continue to look for ways to get through to organizers of the protest, several meetings are still being held under different platforms. Following yesterday's larger meeting of the Niger Governors Forum, which ended in the early hours of today, an arm of the group, the Progressives Governors Forum, comprising governors under All Progressives Congress, are at the Villa for a crucial meeting with the president. The group, led by Imo State Governor Hope Uzodimma, have already voiced concerns about the potential harm the protest might cause, reiterating that members are doing everything possible to help Nigerians cope with the economic hardship. Some traditional rulers from the different geopolitical zones also arrived a little later for a meeting with the president. The governor of Benue State, Mr. Hyacinth Alia, has accepted the 70,000 naira new national minimum wage approved by President Bola Tinubu, noting that transparent management of resources and improved internally generated revenue strategies will help Benue cope with the wage burden. Mr. Alia announced this while speaking with journalists in Makurdi, the Benue State capital, after inaugurating the governing councils for 7 state-owned tertiary institutions.
Chairmen and members of the governing councils of 7 state-owned tertiary institutions are seated in this hall as Governor Hyacinth Alia arrives for their inauguration. Governor Alia immediately charges the governing councils on key governance issues that will reposition the institution to compete globally through research and innovation.
Let me be categorically clear. Government will not hesitate to take decisive action against any of you found wanting or involved in any unethical practice and conduct. Our collective goal is to uplift our educational standards, and you must therefore approach your duties as council chairmen and council members with a sense of utmost integrity, openness, accountability, and professionalism.
Among the chairmen is Mr. Paul Chukuma from Anambra State, who is appointed as the chairman, Governing Council for Benue State University, bringing on board a strong linkage between the university and industries to equip young graduates.
The state-owned tertiary institutions need some support in some critical areas. And one of those we must talk about is research and development. We need to begin to interface and link up and bridge the gap between industry and the citadel of learning.
On the sideline of the event, Governor Alia, while expressing hope of improving the quality of education in Benue State, says the state is capable of paying the 70,000 naira new national minimum wage approved by President Bola Tinubu.
With all the plans and the immediate makeshift arrangements that are in place for things to function, things are moving. Even our IGR is increased. So it is now left to us to close more loopholes to see how much we can cash in to do many other things, including the payment of salaries. Why not? We can pay. We can pay. I'm focused on all my purposes and intent. So what is agreed by the federal government definitely is what we, the subnationals, can also just cue in to do.
The financial reforms initiated by the Alia administration to help increase internally generated revenue to over 1.4 billion naira monthly, in addition to blocking all conduit pipes, may come in handy to meet the new wage demands in Benue State.
Citizens' engagement in waste management, clearing debris from drainage systems and building channels to divert flood water, as well as government efforts through the Environmental Protection and Sanitation Agency, have reduced flood intensity in Plateau State. Public enlightenment through sensitization and awareness campaign of proper waste management and flood preparedness through the National Emergency Management Agency and other stakeholders are positive enablers that have prevented flooding in the state.
Plateau State is one of the states predicted by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency to witness heavy rainfall with frequency and force, which might lead to flash floods for roads, bridges, and low-lying areas, resulting in traffic jam. The National Emergency Management Agency is leading a campaign to flood danger zones such as Jos Buruku Metropolis to ensure a safe environment. This includes community engagement on waste management, evacuation of debris, and clearing of gutters and drainage channels.
We have been working closely with the NESRA, PEPSA as an agency of the state, and other stakeholders to see how we'll be able to mitigate this aspect of, one, the flooding, and even the aspect of waste management. It can come in different angles. One, again, the aspect of improper waste management can cause a lot of vices, like the cholera outbreak that we've been having previously, malaria, and as well. So now we've been talking to these community leaders to see how they'll be able to adhere to this basic assignment that we're here.
Though the city center experienced brief flooding along the Rayfield Road due to a blockage of waterways, the National Environmental Standard Regulations Enforcement Agency, NESRA, appeals to residents to observe proper waste management processes.
The issue of flooding has no barrier. Waste issues don't have barrier. Environmental issues don't have barrier. Hence, we need to talk to people. Let them know that the effects of environmental issues are very, very grave. And by so doing, it will help us pass the information to people so that they know that when it comes to the issue of waste management, it's not just government. We are using this opportunity to talk to the community that they should not wait for government to come and evacuate their waste.
Government collaboration with citizens' engagement on waste management has been identified as one of the most effective tools to curtail flooding.
This government had gone ahead to take proactive steps to prevent flooding in Jos and also in certain parts of Plateau State. We have moved in to widen the waterway within those areas and also unblock those particular areas around Rayfield where those likely flooding happened. And part of what we have done deliberately is to increase the level of citizen participation so that residents can also own this process in terms of construction of gutters and also waterway.
With predictions of frequent rainfall in the state, the Plateau State Environmental Protection and Sanitation Agency says this sensitization will be a continuous exercise to serve as a cautionary measure against flooding disaster.
Welcome back. The Kwara State government has assured of its readiness and commitments to enhance the hospitality sector in the state to international standard and also provide 10,000 youths with technology skills to make the state a tech innovation destination center in West Africa. The Commissioner for Business and Business Innovation, Damilola Yusuf Adelodu, gave the assurance while inspecting the ongoing renovation of Kwara Hotels and Innovation Hub in Ilorin, the state capital.
The ongoing renovation is being inspected by the Commissioner for Business, Innovation and Technology, Damilola Yusuf Adelodu, accompanied by the Chief Press Secretary, who are taken round by the project manager.
From our own observation, the work done so far has actually exceeded our initial timeline. From the ministry's percentage, this hotel has already reached about 25%. Initially, it was supposed to be at 20%. So the contractor is moving fast and they are doing their work efficiently. And in the next few months, we hope to move even faster. And we are within timeline.
The renovation project, which started by January this year, has a 2-year target. Another project in the works is the Innovation Hub, where over 10,000 youth are expected to be trained in technological skills.
Our contract is 24 months, starting end of January 2024, and we are doing our best. And it's an agreement, and it's a promise from our GM and our owners of the company to deliver it in 18 months.
With about 98% completed and expected to be commissioned and handed over in 2 months, the Innovation Hub is expected to be patronized across the country, as skills to be offered will be of international standard.
This is the Excellence Innovation Hub with each is Excellence's concept to build up startups as well as the talents in ICT and in technology in the States. We have actually partnered with IHS Towers and recently signed an MOU with them about around December last year. Currently, we are entering the completion phase of this project. We have less than 2 months to complete this project. As you can see from our tour as well as the background, the project is shaping up and is exactly as Excellency has envisioned.
The initiative is expected to change the face of technological skills acquisition amongst the youth.
The only female lawmaker in the Nasarawa State House of Assembly representing Nasarawa Central Constituency, Hajara Danyaro, is assuring the people of quality representation, which is people-centric. She gave the assurance at the stakeholders' town hall in Nasarawa local government area. Our correspondent, Halima Gayam, has a report.
The people desire has manifested.
The only female lawmaker at the Nasarawa State House of Assembly, Hajara Danyaro, is marking 1 year in office and has gathered stakeholders from Nasarawa Central Constituency to give an account of her stewardship. Governor Abdullahi Sule is represented at the town hall by his deputy Emmanuel Akabe, as the state lawmaker restates her commitment to give better representation to her people.
Let me quickly reveal that Nasarawa Central Constituency is set to witness a wide range of developmental activities in all critical areas of human endeavor, which will positively change the life of our people.
The Speaker of the Nasarawa State House of Assembly showers encomiums on the lawmaker, commending her efforts so far.
In the Assembly, she is one of the best. Very courageous woman. And I would like to let you know, she is the first and the only woman that sponsored a bill that gets through second reading, which will be passed into law very soon.
Meanwhile, the state government calls for support from stakeholders as the executive plays its part.
I want to crave the indulgence, the good people of Nasarawa Central, to continue to support our member, and indeed all members. We'll continue to pray for them. We'll continue also to advise them and to make suggestions.
The Emir of Nasarawa is also confident that the lawmaker will do more to bring dividends of democracy to her people.
It is just a year. We have 3 more years to go. I hope and pray that more of these goodies will come to our people. I believe this cannot be possible without the support of the government of Nasarawa State.
With insights shared from stakeholders, 100 women are empowered at the town hall. Halima Gayam, Channels Television News.
In a significant move to improve healthcare delivery in Niger State, Governor Umaru Bago has announced the release of 200 million Naira's health insurance fund. The governor says the money is the state's counterpart fund to cover 30,000 indigent residents. The remark was made during the groundbreaking ceremony for the construction of 100 new Level 2 primary healthcare centers across the state.
Niger State in northern Nigeria covers 10% of the nation's total land mass. This is a major challenge because the people have a problem accessing quality healthcare services when they require one, and when they get to any, they are also faced with inadequate facilities for their health needs. This groundbreaking event is for the establishment of centers that will provide effective healthcare delivery across Niger State, with state-of-the-art facilities, including labor rooms, wards for men, women and children, ambulances, and staff quarters. Governor Umaru Bago performs this symbolic bricklaying, signaling the flag-off of similar facilities across the state. In addition to this, Governor Bago announces the release of 200 million naira as counterpart funding for social security and insurance cover for 30,000 indigents across the state.
We have given a time frame of 10 weeks from today, inshallah, to complete this project. And again, not quite away from here, we are converting the old secretariat and the judiciary complex to the School of Nursing, Midwifery and Technology. We want to be a hub for medical services in Nigeria.
On security of lives and property, the governor asked the people to remain vigilant and report suspicious elements to relevant security agencies. He also announced bursary allowances for university students.
On the issue of security of lives and property, we want to call on all of you to be vigilant. I have given directives to the Commissioner of Power and Renewable Energy to provide in all these facilities renewable applications so that we will be off-grid in all our primary health care centers. All our medical students will enjoy 150,000 scholarship from today. And again, our law students will enjoy, and law students and engineering students and science students in our tertiary institutions will enjoy only 100,000 naira scholarship. Then other social sciences and art courses will enjoy 50,000 all across the board. We have also provided a counterpart fund to provide social security, health insurance for 30,000 Nigerians. As such, we are providing 200 million naira to match that fund.
By kickstarting the construction of new healthcare facilities, the government says the aim is to ensure that quality healthcare is accessible to all, regardless of social status.
We head over to Kogi State, where Governor Usman Ododo has vowed to leave any stone unturned in his quest to provide adequate security of life and property for the people of the state. Governor Ododo stated this in Lokoja, the state capital, while commissioning an office complex built and equipped by the state government for the quick response unit of the Nigerian Police, Kogi State Command.
Senior police officers, security experts, top government officials, members of the National Working Committee of the All Progressives Congress, and residents of Lokoja, the Kogi State capital, converged on the premises of the newly built office complex for the quick response unit of the Nigeria Police. On arrival, Governor Usman Ododo first inspects a guard of honor and then exchanges handshakes with senior police officers. The Quick Response Unit is a tactical outfit created and saddled with the responsibility of combating crime and criminality.
This edifice will indeed motivate the command
to double our efforts in ongoing onslaught against criminal elements in the state.
In his remarks, the security advisor to the Kogi state government reels out efforts of the government towards achieving adequate security.
You will recall the first major policy was the establishment of metropolitan quick response for the state capital. The administration moved by providing 105 security vehicles to security agencies in the state through our Kogi state service. The recruitment of 1,050 hunters in the 21 local governments and just 3 weeks ago, the distribution of ballistic vests, combat boots for protection and enhancement of operation of our hunters.
A major part of this is the support given to security operatives, and this office complex is a fulfillment of Governor Usman Ododo's promises to partner with the State Police Command. He warns criminals that Kogi State will not be their hiding place.
Our actions have shown that we are prepared to stamp out insecurity from our dear state. We will not back out after handing over this to you. We are prepared to continue to update your combat readiness and inject dynamism and pragmatism to our war against criminality. I urge the great people of Kogi State to continue to support security agencies to enable them to do their job.
The cutting of the tape by Governor Ododo signifies the official commissioning of the building.
And that's all on this edition of Newsroom series. I'm Dominic Iwiwu. Stay safe and bye for now.